Welcome back to Football Codes. In the previous episode, we deciphered why Europe panicked with Cristiano's signing. But what you saw was just the tip of the iceberg. Today, you're going to discover something that will change your perspective of football forever. This wasn't just a signing. It was a financial earthquake that's rewriting the laws of world football economics. And when you finish watching this episode, you'll understand why European club bankers can't sleep peacefully. I'm your name. And over the next few minutes, you're going to decipher the most powerful code in modern football, Saudi money. Get ready because the figures you're about to hear will blow your mind. Remember when we thought PSG had broken the market with Neymar for $222 million? How naive we were. Saudi Arabia just demonstrated that was pocket change compared to what they can really do. Let's start with a simple question. How much money do you think Saudi clubs spent just in summer 2023? 300 million? 500 million? Prepare for this. More than 870 million euros in a single transfer window. But wait, because the real figure is even more shocking. When you add salaries, bonuses, commissions, and advertising contracts, we're talking about more than 2.5 billion euros invested in a single year. To put this in perspective, that's more than the GDP of some countries. Now, let me put this in perspective. Real Madrid, the richest club in the world, generates approximately 800 million euros per year in total revenue. Saudi Arabia spent that amount just on summer signings. Are you starting to understand the magnitude of the tsunami? But here's what really scared Europe. It's not just about how much they spend, but how they spend it. While Real Madrid has to calculate every euro, worry about financial fair play, and justify every investment to shareholders, Saudi clubs operate with a financial freedom that defies all traditional economic logic. Want a concrete example? Cristiano Ronaldo, 533 million over 2.5 years. Benzema, 400 million for 2 seasons. Conte, 200 million for 3 years. But here's the secret code. These aren't expenses. They're geopolitical investments financed directly by Saudi Arabia's sovereign fund. Translated to real numbers, the Saudi sovereign fund manages more than $700 billion. Yes, you heard right, 700 billion. For them, spending 10 billion on football over 5 years is like you buying a coffee. And here's the part that made Florentino Pérez call emergency meetings. It's not about infinite money. It's about intelligent money. Every signing is calculated to maximize 3 objectives: international sporting legitimacy, geopolitical soft power, and preparation for the 2034 World Cup. Let me show you how they're rewriting football's economic rules. Traditionally, a club evaluates a signing based on sporting performance, marketing, and shirt sales. The Saudis added completely new variables: impact on national tourism, improvement of international image, and strengthening of diplomatic relations. The result? They can afford to pay 3 times a player's market value because they're buying much more than football. They're buying global influence, international respectability, and strategic positioning for the coming decades. But wait, because what really shocked European executives was discovering the structure of these contracts. They're not traditional football contracts, they're cultural ambassador packages that include player salary, advertising contracts, real estate investments, and business participations. When Benzema signed with Al Ittihad, he didn't just become their center forward. He became an ambassador for the Saudi League, the face of the country brand, and partner in various business projects. His contract isn't 400 million for playing football. It's 400 million for being Saudi Arabia's face in the sports world. And here's the most disturbing code. This is barely beginning. Internal sources reveal that Saudi Arabia has allocated a budget of $25 billion for the next 5 years. This isn't a joke. It's not speculation. $25 billion. To dimension this figure, it's more money than the combined value of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, and PSG together. It's more money than the last 10 years of transfers from the entire Premier League combined. And do you know what's most terrifying for Europe? They haven't even used 10% of their real financial capacity. What we've seen so far are just test purchases. The real moves, the ones that will change football history, are scheduled for the next 2 years. Imagine this. What would happen if tomorrow Saudi Arabia decided to offer 500 million euros for Mbappé, or $1 billion for Haaland? It sounds crazy, but mathematically they can do it without even breaking a sweat. The reality that Europe is beginning to understand is that they're not competing against football clubs. They're competing against an entire country, backed by oil resources that generate more money in one day than most clubs in a year. But here comes the plot twist nobody saw coming. This money tsunami isn't sustainable because it pretends to be sustainable. It's sustainable because its objective isn't to make money, but to buy global power and influence. And that, my friends, is priceless. The first code is deciphered, the second revealed. But the third code, the most dangerous of all, is related to something Europe hasn't fully understood yet. It's not just about money, it's about total control of the world football ecosystem. Do you want to know how they plan to control not just players, but leagues, media, and even FIFA decisions? Don't miss the next episode of Football Codes, where we'll reveal the most ambitious master plan in sports history. Hit like if these figures impacted you as much as they did me. Subscribe to continue deciphering the deepest codes of world football and comment. Do you think any European club can compete against this financial power? See you in the next episode, where the codes become darker and the revelations more disturbing.